Research has shown that coddling your child prevents them from developing a sense of self, heightens their anxiety, and stunts their communication skills. But as many parents struggle to walk a fine line between caring and coddling, just how old is too old? Well, joining us now to help answer some of those questions is parenting psychologist Reena B. Patel. Welcome to the show, Reena.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So, parents and baby talk. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, we all know. I mean, I'm a parent myself. It's cute. It's fun. We would love to stay in that phase forever. But what is baby talk? It's that high-pitched sing-song interaction that we do. And research shows us that, yes, it's used across the world, but at some point we need to transition out, right? It's not socially acceptable.
So what do you think as far as, how old is too old to keep this going on?
That's a great question. And really, I tell parents to think about school age years. The minute they set foot in a preschool, a child care facility setting, we want to model socially acceptable language development. And they start to articulate, they start to, string words together, and we want them to do it developmentally appropriately. So they're going to start making friends. They're going to start looking at social cues. So it's so important for us as adults to reinforce the appropriate and expected language behavior. And so when they hit that school age time frame and they're in preschool, it's important to really start to phase that out.
No more goo goo gaga. All right. Next question, Reena. How old is too old to have a kid sleep in the same bed with their parents? This is a big one.
The reality is it is a struggle, right? And so many of us fall into, I want to say it's a trap, right? And ask yourself first, though, why is my child sleeping with me? Is it for me, or is it for my child, or is it a little bit of both? And we also have to be realistic. Children, there's a high percentage of families out there who are going through divorce. Maybe there's some trauma. Does my child present with some type of anxiety? And so rule those things out first. And then also, parents, don't forget about your own self-care and the importance that you need to be able to get a good night's sleep. And of course, there are going to be bumps along the way. I have an early morning meeting, for example, and you're so exhausted, you don't want to take your child back to bed. But the goal is for them to be independent. And there's a difference actually between co-sleeping and bed sleeping, So for example, co-sleeping under the age of 12 months is so important. It's called bed sharing, actually. And it's okay to co-sleep if they're on a separate mattress in a crib. But bed sharing is when a child is actually in bed with you. And that's something that you really want to start to transition out from.
So what does that transition look like? Because it's a really challenging time. And then we all know what happens. Middle of the night, knocking on the door, they kind of sneak back in bed with you. So what do we do?
Yeah, it's a transition. So remember, it's a process, right? So don't expect the first night that they're going to be able to sleep through the night. Take those baby steps and don't forget to just encourage them. So what I would recommend professionally is, first of all, create a bedtime routine that is consistent and have that structure there. Really look at their sleeping environment and make sure it's somewhere they feel safe, they feel calm. Is it that I'm going to have music? Are we going to have a special nightlight? One of the things that I love recommending and really find very successful are those colored red and green light alarm clocks that are out there. Use that visual to help let them know how long they should stay in bed. Are they just resting? And you're right, because they're going to come back to you in the middle of the night. And don't provide a lot of interaction at that point. Really low to minimal affect, gently nurture them, walk them back, tuck them in, make sure they have their stuffy, the things that make them feel secure, and don't hang around. Walk right back out, because they're going to try to keep you there as long as they can.
Great tips and information. Thanks so much for joining us today, Reena.
Thanks so much.